All right, and welcome back again to the Paisan Sports podcast presented by Elevation 5280 Sports. Dante De Placido, joined as always by my co-host Zach Deal of What's the Deal Sports. How you doing, Zach?
I'm good, brother. How are you?
Not
Excited
bad.
for football season.
Yeah, we are currently getting ready to start our fantasy draft, the Elevation 5280 Sports Fantasy Football League. Draft is kicking off in 12 minutes. I currently have the third pick. Zach currently has the ninth. But we'll get into that in a moment. Until then, we want to talk some Phillies.
Yeah, let's start off talking some Phillies. Looks like there's brighter days, and those brighter days have come. What do you think of the Phillies since the last time we talked on the podcast?
Yeah, I mean, about time, Phillies are currently looking at 3 straight series wins against the Royals, Astros, and Braves. And the series win against the Braves was a 4-game series. They won the first game, lost the second one. And then we're able to wrap it up with 2 wins at the end there, including an extra innings win on Sunday. I think the main thing has been the pitching. The pitching has been really, really good as of late. Bless you.
Thank you.
Oh, excuse me.
Oh,
Sorry about that. A little sniffles coming in, but yeah, the pitching has been a lot better. They've gotten resources back, got Ranger
yeah.
Suarez back in the lineup.
Well, they're currently down 6-1. So, with the
6-1.
exception of
When did that
Trevor
happen?
Phillips is on. Trevor
Oh
Phillips
yeah,
is on the mound.
Tyler Phillips is on the mound. I actually watched
Tyler,
it.
did I say Trevor?
Yeah, I think 3 runs had been scored since, or 3 runs have been scored before he got an out today. So
Yeah, that's a shame. When I saw that Tyler Phillips was going to be on the mound, I couldn't decide if it was better or worse than having Taiwan Walker on the
But
mound.
that's the thing. This is what the fans asked for. Everybody wanted Taiwan Walker out of there. I think he's available in the bullpen tonight, so it would be funny if they did the double service to us and Tyler Phelps started off the game and then Taiwan came out of the bullpen to just make things even worse. But yeah, this is pretty much what everybody asked for. They didn't want to see Taiwan Walker make another start, and this is what you have in replacement.
Yeah, I mean, but that's the thing. It's like, it's not any worse than Taiwan Walker, in my opinion. 6 runs is 6 runs. But I mean, don't they have 5 guys outside of Walker and Phillips? Ranger came back. No. Yeah. So I mean, they have Sanchez,
Spencer
Ranger,
Turnbull's been out
Nola.
the entire season. They have Kobe
Oh, right.
Allard.
Yeah, there is no. That's just 4. Yeah.
Kobe Allard.
Well, I mean,
was
I would
the
take
other
Kobe
guy.
Allard
Michael
over
Mercado.
Taiwan Walker. But let's focus on the positives. The positives being that when the other 4 guys are pitching, the Phillies play very well. 3 straight series wins. A monstrous series win against the Braves. That's a series that you, like we mentioned on the podcast, you had to at least tie, right? You couldn't lose this series. It's a 4-game series. It's hard to win the series, so you had to at least tie. And they won the series, which is huge. It helps gain some ground over Atlanta because they were playing well during the 2 Philly series wins going into the series. So they hadn't gained any ground on them then. So to win that series was pretty big, especially in the late part of the season, trying to win the division now.
Yeah, winning a 4-game series like that, winning 3 games out of the 4. Really gutsy win on Sunday Night Baseball where they came back from a 2-0 deficit and were able to win the game. Nick Castellanos driving in every single run in that game. Saturday night was pretty much a dominant win for the Phillies, and then Friday was their only blemish. So for them to mark the stamp on the Braves and not let the Braves get the upper hand on them again like they had the previous series when they played less than 2 weeks ago was definitely a good thing to see. So it seems like they're getting back on track. I don't think they're going to fully collapse, but we'll see. It all really depends on if they're able to beat out the Dodgers. They'll have the tiebreaker with the Dodgers for the number one seed if it comes down to it. But it's all going to come down to whether they can get that number one seed or not. How important do you think the number one seed is? Because we know how important it is to play in Citizens Bank Park throughout the entire playoffs and have home field advantage. But um, do you think?
I don't think it's that. I don't think it's that important. This team went to the World Series as the sixth seed, the final wild card team. They lost in the NLCS last year when they had home field advantage. So I really don't think it's that important. I think what's most important is getting into the postseason healthy and with momentum. I think that's most important. You don't want to limp into the postseason, whether that either means you have injuries or you've limped your way in there because you've lost a bunch of games towards the end, but we're still able to hold on and win the division. I think it's important you're healthy and you go into the postseason having played well those past couple weeks. I think that's
why I'm a
far
little
more
bit
important.
tentative on them because I feel like Bryce Harper is dealing with some injuries that he's not really talking about too much. And he gave a little bit of insight on that the other day when he was getting interviewed. But I mean, if your best player is not ready to go and ready to be available, this team's going to go as far as Bryce Harper's going to lead them.
Yeah, well, listen, the best hitter they've had
should
since
fit in some more rest time for him?
I think at some
play a little
point,
cautious with him to end the season. Maybe
yeah, I
get
think you
Enriquez
should.
in the lineup a little bit more. Alec Bohm playing first base because they really
Yeah,
don't have a
I
first
think
base
that would
option
be
outside
smart.
of.
I think it would be smart to give Harper some rest going into the postseason. Maybe give him a couple of extra days off, not in succession, but just leading into the postseason. But ever since the All Star break, their best hitter has been Nick Castellanos. I think he is going to be an integral part to a postseason run as well. I think he's batting 300 since the All Star break. He single handedly won the game on Sunday. He's driven in a bunch of runs. He really has.
Clean up a couple times too in the Braves series. So he was
with Bohm out. With Bohm out, they've had him batting cleanup, which I think is a good role for him. And he even mentioned when they were interviewing him the other day, him talking about how important him specifically to the type of player he is to bat further up in the lineup. Because he said, I don't go up there looking to draw walks. I look up there and I go up there and I swing at baseballs. If or however he simplified it, him.
Quote.
But his main point being, if there's good hitters behind him, then the pitcher throwing to him doesn't have the luxury of pitching around him. And when he's being pitched around, that is when he is at his weakest because he's not good at working counts and drawing.
He's not patient. I mean, we've seen it how many times with the outside slider that's got him on numerous occasions. So, and he's pretty much a ball player. He doesn't want to sit and take rest and do all these other things that other baseball players or managers think are good for other baseball players. He just wants to go out there and play and swing the baseball bat. So you need a couple of those guys in your lineup. I feel like somebody else that is cut from that same cloth is Kyle Schwarber, where he does draw walks and he's a little bit more patient, but at the end of the day, he's swinging for the fences every single time. So that's why it's good to have a balance of different types of hitters in your lineup. But at times, I feel like a lot of the Phillies do fall victim to trying to swing for the fences and try and all get the deficit that they're facing all back in one hit.
Yeah, and I think that kind of is. I don't think that's really a fault to the players. I think it's just that's how the lineup has been built. A lot of guys who have that strategy have been put on the same team together. Bryce Harper, that was always his thing. Castellanos, that's always been his thing. So and there are plenty of guys out there in the majors who take their time in at bats and try and work the count, but that's just not the way this roster has been built. I think maybe it would be beneficial if they had a couple more guys like that, but I mean, that's the way this team is, and that's kind of the charm of the team. That's kind of it kind of fits into the meme that was going around when Costi and Schwarber signed here, where people were people were talking about how our defense would be bad, and it would just say
Well, that's when they
Balco
also had
boom.
Hoskins too. Like,
Yeah,
just imagine that lineup with Hoskins. That was
that
before the
really
days
is
ago.
like the personality of this team is ball go boom. It's just guys who just
Yeah.
run hard, and at times it does, and I think that's the
Yeah, for sure. But we're coming up on 2 minutes before the draft, so let's transition to the draft. Are you going
let's
into
talk strategy. Sorry, what were you about to say?
No, we're about to talk strategy. I didn't know that you were coming in with a segue in there though, but you read my mind. So you're at pick 3. You're before me. What do you go into a fantasy draft? Does it matter what pick you have in the draft? Are you always going in with the same type of mindset of like you want to grab a running back first, a wide receiver first? Those are really the only two positions that you're going to consider. Is there a certain player that you're always trying to get every single year if you're within a range? Like what is your thought process here? Plus, you don't know anybody in the league right now, so
That is not
besides me,
something.
so
That last
nobody like
part isn't
before you
something I
can't really
take into
predict.
consideration.
Yeah,
I
you
don't.
can't really predict what people in front of you are going to do. You kind of know
I
Christian
don't
McCaffrey's
usually
going to go,
do
but
that anyhow. Typically, I like to get my two running backs first. I really value the running back
so you
position in
stack two running
fantasy.
backs and you don't even think about wide receiver until the third pick.
I mean, like if I'm in the luxury to do that, but I'm looking here at the board, right? And the two running backs at pick 3, the two running backs I would want are McCaffrey or Bijan
There it is.
Robinson, right? Um, I don't feel comfortable. Oh, there goes McCaffrey. I don't feel comfortable taking a Jets running back at pick 3. And there
And
goes the
you're
other guy I
already
wanted,
on the
Bijan
clock.
Robinson, so I'm not going to take Brees Hall here. And that kind of leaves me
Well,
with
we got to talk about it. We got some. We got like you got a minute to draft here. Are you going to seriously consider CeeDee Lamb because you know he's going to catch the
no,
ball a lot? Just he's
no. He's
completely
going
off
to
the
get the
board.
ball a
Cowboys
lot.
player.
But here's the guy I want Cheetah, Tyreek Hill,
I knew
formerly
Tyreek
Dante
Hill was going to be the
Inferno.
pick there. So you said you wanted to go two running backs off the bat. That's how you normally go.
Yeah, but I
But
just
you
didn't
ended up with
like
a
what
wide
was
receiver.
available at pick 3. And Tyreek Hill, I mean, with
That's
how
good
many
value.
yards and touchdowns he racks up, how can you pass up on him?
Brees Hall dropping right now. Pick
Yeah.
6. He is yet to be
You
drafted.
can't trust a Jets player. You just can't. Like, if you just look at the history of the New York Jets, like, I feel like you can't trust it. I mean, you look back to Le'Veon Bell, Aaron Rodgers,
Yeah, but this is different. This isn't a over the hill.
Brandon Marshall is another one,
This is a young player. This isn't somebody that's over the hill. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm really sure. Although I will say, a couple years ago when I did fantasy, I took Garrett Wilson, and he ended up having a great season for me.
Yeah, he's
But
going to be the number one target. He might be somebody that you might be looking at with your second pick or your third pick.
all right, well, let's move on to you. Your pick 9. Looking at who's currently available, where's your head at?
I don't know. I'm actually considering Brees Hall if he's available to me at pick 9. I was just checking my other leagues to make sure I have players. I don't really like having more. I used to be somebody that would draft the same players in all my different leagues. So I try to steer clear of that now. I'm looking. I have Saquon Barkley on one of my rosters, but he's definitely somebody that I might target again. I like that range. Brees Hall, I feel like is going to go a pick or two before me. This person's going to get auto drafted. Brees
If
Hall
he
right
falls to
now.
9, that's a pretty good pick for pick 9, though.
Brees Hall, he just got drafted on auto pick though.
By the
That
way,
person ran down the entire clock.
it's now
So
6-2 Blue Jays runners at the corners, 1 out for the Phillies. So,
we'll see. Maybe they'll spur a comeback.
I'm hoping Saquon somehow falls to my next pick. That would easily be who
He
I
most
take.
likely won't make it past me. If so,
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna make it that far anyhow.
I don't know.
What I
I'm
usually like to
considering.
do is try and predict who the next, top running back is going to be, because I feel like every year it's either a rookie running back or it's a running back who had a decent rookie season and is now going to take that next step the next year. I feel like that's usually how it goes for running backs. Usually the top running back doesn't always repeat their success. So I do try and
Yeah, that
predict
is
who the
very
next
true.
big running back is
I don't
going to
know. I'm
be.
stuck here. I'm actually starting to consider AJ Brown. Justin Jefferson's obviously still, and Justin Jefferson is gone. So Jonathan Taylor, Saquon, AJ Brown, Jahmyr Gibbs. Jahmyr Gibbs is somebody that's looking appetizing that I might have to draft a little bit higher than his ranking.
I feel like there really weren't any big running backs that came in through the draft this year. Well, you are on the clock.
Yeah, the number one running back that's came through the draft, Jonathan Brooks, the first drafted running back, is going to miss like the first part of the season, but he's somebody that you could be looking at in the later rounds. Could be the clear RB1 in Carolina. Miles Sanders has completely fell off fade.
Yeah.
This is tough. This is tough. I really want to take Saquon, but do I really want to double him up?
20 seconds.
We're going to trust the gut, and we're going to take Saquon Barkley.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll have a different second-round pick than the league that I got Saquon in. The league that I have Saquon in, I have Saquon, Jonathan Taylor, Stephon Diggs.
I think Saquon is going to have a monster season. You look at how talented he is and how the production he's had throughout his career. And a horrible offensive line you put behind the Eagles' offensive line. I think he's going to have a monster year this season. I think that's a good pick at 9.
Yeah, I think that's where I took him. Let's see where I took him. I picked him 10th in my other league, so pick 9 is pretty much the same value. Yeah. I'm surprised people don't take risks on him higher, honestly.
Yeah, I like I said, I think he's going to have a monster season.
Let's see how far AJ Brown falls.
Yeah, he's been slipping a bit.
Josh Jacobs taken 10th overall. That's got to be a package.
Here's the one thing that's new for me with this fantasy draft is this is the first time I've been in a fantasy football league that's not predominantly Eagles fans, right? So I mean, typically you'll never see an Eagles player slip because it's all Eagles fans. They want the Eagles players, but
yeah, maybe you'll get fucking. I didn't mean to drop an F-bomb there, but maybe you'll get CeeDee Lamb, cooking, dropping all the way down because you got a bunch of Eagles fans that hate the Cowboys. You know what I mean? But he ended up coming 4th in this draft, so.
Now, let me ask you this: who do you think you're eyeing up for your quarterback? Who do you have in mind?
I don't know. That's such a good question. I think I'm gonna have to start really looking into that around like 3 or 4 because I feel like by that time, if I get to round 5, I'm not gonna really have any of the top 5 quarterbacks projected. So, obviously you always want a dual threat guy that's able to do both to get you maximum amount of points. So I'm not really high on Josh Allen being the number 1 guy though, because I feel like his receiving core is really lacking. I think Keon Coleman is going to do really well for a rookie this year, and I actually think he's a good pick. If you're looking down the line, Jahmyr Gibbs just went. That would have been a cool pick if he fell.
I'm gonna disagree with you a bit. Now, dual threat quarterbacks are very valuable in fantasy because they rack up rushing yards and rushing touchdowns. But I think what's huge to have for a quarterback in fantasy is a quarterback that's on a bad team, a quarterback that's going to have to play from behind a lot. Because if you have a great
Yeah, but
quarterback,
it really depends on what specifications of a bad team are they? Like, are they a team that just can't stop anybody and
yeah,
can't
that's more so what I'm referring to, like a
like
team that has
a Kyler
a
Murray?
bad defense. Yeah, like somebody like Kyler Murray, like somebody who has a bad defense. They're good. Their offense is going to do well, but they have a bad defense, so they're playing from behind a lot, and they're racking up those passing yards. That's to me, I think that's something to look at.
Well, Dante, with that being said, you know who I'm going to draft?
Who's that?
This is somebody risky, but I don't have any flyers on them in any of my other drafts so far. Good player. I didn't want to risk it, but this is a different type of league, so it's a little bit deeper. So I might have to take the highest possible ceiling that I can get. I'm going to take Marvin Harrison Jr. with my second round pick. Somebody
Oh
that
wow,
a lot of people think is maybe ranked a little high, second round ADP,
yeah.
back into the second round, maybe third roundish, but I like his ceiling. And I think he's obviously going to be the number one target for Kyler Murray. And all those things that you just talked about kind of just led into my decision.
Yeah, no, I think that's a good pick. I have my quarterback in mind. I'm not going to
Jalen
say
Hurts just went off the board.
wow,
Pick 8.
second round.
That's
That's something.
interesting.
And then followed by Michael Pittman Jr.
So let's look who just drafted a Michael's magnificent team. So they
I'm
have a
almost on the clock here.
So the person that just drafted Jalen Hurts has Amon-Ra St. Brown and then Jalen Hurts so far. So the next time they come up, they really need a running back, and they might be short on the totem pole at that point. I'd rather be short on the totem pole at quarterback than be short on the totem pole at running back. That's for sure. So I
I
feel good
see
about having a running back and a wide receiver so far.
I see two running backs on the board currently that I'd feel good about taking. And
Derrick
I
Henry
hope
is one
they
of them.
I hope they stay on the board.
Devontae Adams. I think this is the sweet spot for wide receivers right now. So
Come on, Adam. Don't take the guy I want. Don't take the guy I want.
Mike Evans is always reliable. That's somebody that I considered, but I just felt like I had to go with the high ceiling, the highest possible ceiling I could go with Marvin Harrison
All
Jr.
right. Well, here's
Plus,
my
I don't
running
trust
back
Baker
one.
Mayfield as much.
A guy who not long ago was the number one pick to take in a fantasy draft has fallen
Derrick
off a bit.
Henry.
He's on a new team now. He's on a team with a dual threat quarterback that's going to open things up a bit more for him. New
Probably got a lot of
situation,
red
a
zone looks,
winning
a lot
culture.
of goal line looks
I'm taking Derrick Henry.
with the
So far
emphatic
I got
stand
Derrick
button.
Henry and Tyreek Hill. I like it.
Hell, if this was like 2-3 years ago, you might win the league off those two players right then. All good, longevity. So
Yeah. I'm
can't be
seeing
mad about
Malik Neighbors is really high up
I
on
got
the
drafted.
projected
I have
list.
him in 2 leagues. I'm not happy about it. He's my flex in one of my leagues. I like his talent a lot. I think he's actually a really extremely talented player. It's just how much can I trust Daniel Jones?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking about as well is can you trust Daniel Jones to, be the guy that gets him the ball a lot? I don't I don't know. I think he's a hell of a talent. If he was going to a team with a great offense, he would be a terrific option. But I'm about to take another old guy.
Yeah, you
And I
have 2
hope I'm
picks
not
back to
going to
back.
regret it. There's a chance I do, but I'm going to take Joe Mixon here.
Joe Mixon
I'm
over Alvin
taking Joe
Kamara.
Mixon. I think it's because one year I drafted Alvin Kamara and then he was hurt the whole
Another
year,
quarterback
and
off the board, Patrick Mahomes.
they just put a bad taste in my mouth for Alvin Kamara. didn't trust him as much. But Joe Mixon, he's going into, an offense with CJ Stroud, an offense that really caught fire last year, and now he's being plugged into that. It's kind of same thing with Derrick Henry, really, where it's just they're going to a new situation that I think is going to fit them well. And yeah, I'll pat Mahomes off the board. Yeah.
I'm starting to really look at Josh Allen. I don't have any Josh Allen shares in any of my fantasy leagues. There's some other players like his former teammate that I'm also eyeing up too. I would really like to come out of here with a running back and a wide receiver depth, but in one of these type of leagues, like I feel like you need to try and get like the highest possible score that you can.
Well, Derrick Henry and Joe Mixon have the same bye week, so that was a detail overlooked by me. Oh, we'll figure it out when week 14 rolls around.
Hey, if you win enough games by then, it might not even matter.
Yeah.
Week 14 week 14 is a late bye. Rashad White, Malik Neighbors. That's an early Malik Neighbors. That's an early.
Like,
it's gonna be tough to pass on Alvin Kamara
for running backs. Just out of curiosity,
it's gonna be tough to pass on Alvin Kamara if he's on the board, but I might have to do it in favor of a quarterback. I'm gonna do it. I took Josh Allen.
I'll tell you what. One interesting idea, just knowing Saquon's injury history, as a very late round pick, I don't think Will Shipley would be a terrible idea.
A little handcuffed action at the end? I might.
Yeah,
I might think about it.
Late in the draft.
Or maybe I can just get like somebody that's just can be comparable value. I got some players that I can eye up that, when they come back from injury can make.
I'm surprised to see there's been a couple quarterbacks taken off the board already, which kind of makes me nervous that the guy I want isn't going to be available in the round that I'm going to be looking to take him in. But, I mean, usually I don't like to take a quarterback until 5th, 6th round at least.
There goes Lamar.
I definitely always, that's crazy. I always make sure to have my running backs and my wide receivers first before I go for any other position.
Well, that's what I normally do, but I like I said, I like to switch it up, and I feel like that strategy this year, the way that the rankings are set up, especially on ESPN, I would get through my running backs and wide receivers. There really wouldn't be anybody good at quarterback left that I felt comfortable with. Because it starts going down to a bunch of rookies that you have to trust, and I don't know how much I can trust these rookies yet, even though I do have some Caleb Williams shares.
It's now 6-3 Blue Jays. Phillies ended up scoring another run, so cutting into the lead a bit. Went from a 6-1 game to a much more manageable 6-3 game. Still only the third, going into the 4th inning now.
It was early. That's the benefit of allowing a bunch of runs that early.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about taking a tight end, but
I'm almost definitely going wide receiver with my next pick, unless I just don't like what I see when I get to that point.
Oh man, someone just sniped me. Oh, I got sniped twice in a row.
I'm surprised to see that DJ Moore is still available.
Yeah, well, they got a bunch of mouths to feed out there now, so.
If he could fall to pick 54, that would be phenomenal.
I'm definitely not taking him. So.
Why not?
I don't know. I kind of want to get Jalen Waddle.
Jalen Waddle's another good pick.
Yeah, I think Jalen Waddle was my pick. There it is. Sometimes I get nervous taking like a Jalen Waddle or like a Devontae Smith with an AJ Brown or, having Tyreek Hill in the offense, but you just got to trust the talent. And that's Devontae Smith and Jalen Waddle are supremely talented, so there's always going to be options out there for them.
Yeah.
Rather him be my flex than my wide receiver too, but hey, what can you do? And I felt like I felt good about taking a wide receiver there because the running backs that are ranked right now are kind of out of the range of be pushing it. But I'm on the clock in 15 picks, so I got to wait anyway. So we got to be really strategic.
So DJ Moore has now gone off the board.
There's extra 4 picks in every round really accumulates because like the depth of this fantasy draft's already lacking, and I haven't even filled out.
There's not really any wide receiver ones left.
No.
Which is
No. There's guys with upside. I mean, Amari Cooper would be a good pick.
I don't know if I want someone that old. I think McLaurin might be a good bet. Zay Flowers is a bit of a risk, especially now with Derrick Henry in the offense.
Well, I mean, he's a number one wide receiver.
Deshaun Watson. I mean, not Deshaun Watson.
I feel like Zay Flowers actually might benefit from Derrick Henry because he's going to be able to get more play action looks. And
but you look at AJ Brown's production when he was in an offense with Derrick Henry compared to his offense when not with Derrick Henry. That's my only worry.
Yeah, but he hasn't played with Derrick Henry until now. He's going to play with Saquon Barkley. So AJ Brown's production might go down a little bit this year.
But that's my point, though. But that's my point is you have a guy who played with Derrick Henry, went from being like an 800-yard season guy to like 1,500 yards, right?
Yeah, he had 1,000 yards in his rookie year. He had like 20 yards per catch in his rookie year.
That was his rookie year. I don't know.
20 yards per catch, 1,000 yards. That means that things were getting opened up because the box was getting stacked.
I kind of want McLaurin. I'm taking a chance on McLaurin. Where'd you go? There you are. Taking a chance on Terry McLaurin.
All right, so let's see how Dante's team's cooking up so far. We got Derrick Henry, Joe Mixon, Tyreek Hill, and Terry McLaurin. That's actually a pretty good team. You have to start looking at the quarterback position and tight end position.
I just spilled a bunch of water. I'll be back.
Leave it up to Dante. We'll proceed on with this draft. We are finishing up with round 4. We got 2 picks left, and then we'll be in round 5.
I feel confident with my next pick. I'll be able to not take a quarterback, and the QB I want will still be available when I'm up again. I don't know if you called all of that. I wasn't.
Who's the quarterback that you? Who's the quarterback you're eyeing up? I already got my quarterback, so it's not like I'm going to snake you or anything.
It's a trade secret, pal.
A little insider.
Let me see how far back he still is in the list of QBs. Let me see.
Don't tell me you're going with Gardner Minshew.
No, not Gardner. Not Gardner.
Oh, Gardner
Minshew. I don't feel unless there's like a really good tight end or a flex available. I mean, I still could probably. I might be able to still take Zay Flowers as a flex, honestly. I might end up doing that. Fuck. Can't do that. Okay.
I want to take a tight end, but I feel like I can't.
Do I take Evan Ingram? Is that who I take? Do I take Evan Ingram?
I mean, he's always racking up catches. Dalton Kincaid.
114
I need a tight end too, but if we're being honest, Dalton Kincaid might be the number 1 receiver for Josh Allen this year.
He's kind of had a career renaissance since going to Jacksonville a bit. Do I take DeAndre Swift as a flex? This is tough. I kind of like Jackson Smith-Njigba. I don't hate the idea of that pick. I think I might do that as a flex. I think I'm going to take Jackson Smith-Njigba. Am I pronouncing his name right? I have no idea.
Yeah.
I'm running out of time. Where'd you go, Jackson?
Jackson.
Come on. No, do not fuck with me here. Do not. There we go. There he is. I'm taking him.
Almost
I'm taking. So with my last 2 picks, I'm kind of reaching a bit, kind of taking some chances. But
are you gonna wait way late to get a tight end, or are you gonna like actually address it after you get the quarterback? Like, or what are we doing?
I'm definitely gonna address after I get a quarterback. I kind of like value the flex position just as much as the tight end position because like I feel like people don't properly value the flex position. Like it's still a starter on your team.
Oh,
And
I value
a
it
good
just as
wide
much as my.
receiver running back is going to get more points than a tight end. So I don't think it's
I
like
expect my flex to give me RB2 or RB2 or wide receiver 2 production. That's what I'm expecting out of it. Not RB1. That's a little bit much to ask, but I'm expecting it to be, one of the second fiddles of my offense. I feel like my strategy for this draft is I'm trying to take the most talented players that I can possibly get on my roster and give myself the best chance with this type of league. I'm gonna have to get some good depth though.
well, Jackson Smith-Njigba, that is a wide receiver too. Unless TK were to get hurt or something. But he had a strong rookie year. A lot of talent coming out of college. I would not be surprised if we saw a big second year from
Yeah,
him.
he's somebody that's kind of forgotten about. I feel like just because they already have 2 really good receivers over there, but I feel like people are forgetting that Tyler Lockett's only getting older. DK's busting into his prime, but Jackson Smith-Njigba wasn't just drafted to be the third fiddle guy. He was also drafted to be the heir apparent to Tyler Lockett when he's done. So I feel like Tyler Lockett.
Yeah, and Tyler Lockett had a down year last season, so Njigba's on the way up. Tyler Lockett's on the way down. I think it's a bit of a risky pick, but I think it's a pick that could possibly turn out really well.
All right, so I just drafted a tight end. I went with Kyle Pitts over Dalton Kincaid. I could have stacked.
That's a great pick, especially at this point in the draft. That's
Would you
going to be a
have went
high-powered offense.
Would you went Dalton Kincaid or Kyle Pitts? I kind of was thinking Dalton Kincaid because it would be the stack with Josh Allen, but I feel like Kyle Pitts with Kirk Cousins in the offense this year, I feel like he has a chance to really go off.
Yeah, no, I think that's going to be a very high-powered offense. I think that's a really, really strong pick at this point in the draft. I think you got yourself a hell of a tight end in round 6.
There's some good wide receivers left, but I definitely need a running back because I do not have a second.
Okay, 3 quarterbacks just taken off the board in the last 4 picks. I'm starting to worry a bit.
There goes Dalton Kincaid. Taysom Hill was just taken before Dalton Kincaid.
I gotta think of a backup plan at QB if my guy goes.
You're really getting into deep water over there if you don't take one with.
I have 2 solid backup picks if my guy is taken.
All right, who are we thinking now? Let them be known. I'm not going to take another quarterback for a long time. So,
no, not telling you. Not telling you. Actually, you're not even picking before me. So I'll just say the main guy I want is Kirk Cousins.
Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, like I mentioned, the guy who's going to be in a great offense, not the best defense, might be playing from behind a lot. He's got a lot of weapons over there. He's a guy who throughout his career has racked up a ton of passing yards each year. Kirko Chains. That's my guy at quarterback. That's the guy I want.
All right, so I just drafted my RB2. I went with Zamir White.
And then my 2 backup plans at quarterback are Trevor Lawrence and Tua Tagovailoa. I also realized Terry McLaurin is also a week 14 bye week. I have 3 players right now who are week 14. I gotta make sure to not take anyone else at week 14.
Yeah, for real. I mean, week
week
14 is so late though, so it's not really going to screw you in like any crucial moment. But the
Unless
one
I'm
thing it
making a
can
late
do is it's
playoff
right
push.
before the playoffs, so it could be like the game that you need to get into the playoffs and you're trying to clinch, and then all your best players are out on
Yeah,
the sideline. And
I
there's
need
not going to be
to.
too much depth that you can draft at this point because with the 14 picks in each round, I mean, we're already looking really light right now, and I haven't even gotten to my flex yet. Let's see what positions, starting position. You need a tight end and a quarterback.
Yep. Yeah.
Tight ends are
Well,
going too. I mean, who are you going to take
yeah,
at
I'm
tight
about to
end?
get my quarterback, or should I go for? Should I go for
You
my
got two picks
tight
that are
end
close.
first?
So if you feel like any player at quarterback or tight end can make it there to that second pick, you're going to have to go with the opposite position.
I like some of the tight ends that are still available. You got Fryermuth, you got Jake Ferguson.
I wouldn't trust Fryermuth. I feel like Dalton Schultz might be a good pick, but he's also dealing with like a bunch of mouths to feed with all the wide receivers that they have there now, but he's pretty reliable. Maybe you take a stab at TJ Hawkinson, but you got to wait
I think if
for a
Jake
while.
Ferguson if Jake Ferguson is still available at pick 82, I'm gonna
Going with the
take him.
Cowboy?
I mean, yeah, dude. I think he's the best available tight end right now. Considering TJ Hawkinson is hurt. And then I can chance that Kirko Chains is still going to be available 5 picks later. And even if he's not, then my backup plans at QB will be available. Yeah, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna take Jake Ferguson here.
Wow. All right.
Yeah, because I mean, think about it, dude.
You weren't gonna go with generational talent Brock Bowers?
Outside of CD Lamb, who do the Cowboys really have to throw to? I think he's going to be a big
Brandon
safety
Cooks, maybe.
blanket in that
Yeah.
offense. Okay, just don't take Kirko Chains, and I'm good. One more pick. Kirko Chains not off the board. That's who we're taking here. Let's go.
You wouldn't go with one of the like Justin Herbert, maybe someone that's
No,
established top 5 quarterback in the league?
no. Kirko Chains, baby.
No Caleb Williams stock,
Kirko
no Jaden
Chains.
Daniels.
Kirko Chains.
Let's see who I'm going to attack with the
Done, man.
flex
Trust the
here. I don't know if
process.
I'm going to try and get a running back or a wide receiver for my flex. Deontay Johnson being available this late into the draft is actually very interesting. He's going to go with this auto pick at pick 90, though. That's why I hate when some people have the auto picks on and someone's dropping all the way down in the draft, and then you just know that they're going to get taken. So,
Yeah, that's a good point. All right, I gotta think what I'm gonna do. I think with my next pick, I'm probably just gonna take best available. Honestly, start loading up that bench.
that's what I'm looking at here. I might take a different type of strategy.
I don't even know who is still gonna be available at my next pick. I'm looking at 21 picks from now. So
I have 4 picks. I'm trying to equate when my next pick would be because I'm going to
what
pull
do you have your entire starting lineup set, or do you still need a starter?
I need a flex.
Christian Watson is a good pick if he falls to you. I like Christian
I kind of like
Watson.
Cortland Sutton, dude. He's going to be the
Yeah,
guaranteed
or
number 1
Cortland
receiver for
Sutton.
Denver.
Well, I'll tell you what, I can't go anymore week 14. So how about you take Cortland Sutton and hopefully Christian Watson somehow falls all the way to me.
I don't know.
I
I'm
am
eyeing up some
tapped
other
out of
people
week
too.
14. Why is I feel like Zeke Elliott is kind of high up, right? He's ranked 104. I feel like that's kind of high for
There's
Zeke
rumors
Elliott.
that Rico Dowd is going to be the starting running back.
Yeah. Wait, what's his name again?
Rico Dowdle. It's like Dowdle.
Oh, is that how you pronounce his last name? I mean, that might not be a bad late round pick then, honestly. Just like take a chance on it. Maybe he does end up being the starting running back. I mean, it would make sense. Zeke Elliott has really dropped off in his career. Who's that other guy they got? That short little Deuce Vaughn. But I mean, he's not an every down back. I can't picture him taking over the starting role. Yeah, he's ranked 242.
I just was going to take Cortland Sutton, but then I ended up taking Keon Coleman. Nice stack with the Josh Allen. I think
You
he's going
might
to
be
get a
able
lot of
to.
targets as a rookie.
You might be able to get both. There's a chance Cortland Sutton falls to
I was thinking about that too, of possibly getting that, but then again, I kind of want to get a running back because
Austin Eckler. That might not be a bad pick. He's approaching.
kind of like Devin Singletary. Had a strong end to last season. Number 1 running back for the Giants this year. Consolation prize to them not being able to land Saquon Barkley back.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. What about Chuba Hubbard?
Chuba Hubbard. He's somebody
He
that I
had a
was able to
pretty
get
good
off
year
my
last
waiver
year, did he
wire.
not?
I was getting him off my waiver wire, but that was also a 10-person league. So
Yeah, I mean, is he the running back 1 this year or no?
Cowboys defense just went in the 7th round.
Wait, I mean, it was a high scoring defense last year.
But 7th round?
Yeah, it was a little high, but
if you're
take a
bugging about a
that's a
defense
good
like that,
defense
I
to
couldn't
take.
imagine what the rest of your lineup looks like. Let's see
Yeah,
what that
Chuba
team.
Hubbard is the run. That is crazy that a running back 1 is still available.
Well, Jonathan Brooks is the player that they drafted, but he's hurt. That's what I was telling you earlier. He was the first
Right.
drafted running back in this
Oh
class.
yeah.
So
How long is he out
Brooks,
for?
he's right on the rankings. He's like ranked 106.
But how
Bubba
long? How
Hubbard's like
long is he
ranked
projected?
115. I think at least the first 4 games of the season.
It's not a bad pick then.
Austin Eckler, your boy, just went.
Help you get off to a hot start. Who knows? Maybe the injury lingers a bit longer than expected.
Yeah, we'll see.
Jameson Williams is another intriguing guy that's still available. Pat Fryermuth also still. I might if I get the chance, I might take him as my second tight end. Or how long is Hawkinson out for?
I think at least 6 weeks.
So you know what? When's my tight ends bye week? Week 7. That could work out perfectly. Honestly, that would be a good second tight end pick for me.
Zeke taken. There's a bunch of running backs here. I just really can't decide which one I'm going to take.
All right, Zach, you are on the clock. Who will you select? I don't know who the fuck I'm going to select. I have so many different ideas.
I think I'm going to go with the talent again. take
Who might that be?
Jonathan Brooks. You take the most talented running back that's on the board. He's going to miss the first 4 games of the season, but I'll have 2 running backs that can hold me off. I don't have any bye weeks. Saquon's bye week is week 5, so I need him back after those first 4 weeks, but we'll see.
Yeah,
Now I have a lot more wiggle room. This is where I can really get some depth at running back and wide receiver after these picks.
I'm considering stealing your idea, and taking a guy who actually just got selected, Devin Singletary. So never mind on that.
He was going to be my pick if it wasn't Jonathan Brooks. They just drafted another running back too, Tyrone Tracy. So just was a little bit nervous about that. What are you looking at here? You need a running back, or you need a wide receiver, or you kind of?
Well, I have no one on my bench yet, but my flex is a wide receiver, so I might be looking. I'm kind of leaning towards a running back. Either way,
There's
going
not too much running back
wide
depth.
receiver.
If you don't get a running back this turnaround, there's not too much depth after that. You're really taking risks going down the line.
Well, that's the thing. I got I think I might go Chuba Hubbard. What about Antonio Gibson? Am I on the clock?
Antonio Gibson, I think, would be a better long-term for the entire season pick than Chuba Hubbard, but I think Chuba Hubbard's ceiling is higher than Antonio Gibson's. Unless
I think I'm gonna go. I think I'm gonna go with Chuba. Because who knows? Maybe he's having a great year, and then what's his name starts playing, but it's like he's not really gaining ground.
Oh no, Jonathan Brooks was drafted as the number 1 running back coming off an ACL for a reason. Coming off an ACL too, so you got to think like teams really trust his talent.
Well, I have 49 seconds. I'm a little torn. Let me just.
I mean, if you really believe in wide receiver here, Jordan Addison would be a really good pick too. I know you have another wide receiver, but Jordan Addison, was.
I'm going Chubb. I'm going Chuba. Chuba. What about Tyjae Spears? What's his deal? I don't have enough time to figure.
They got Tony Pollard in the backfield too, so you got to think.
Yeah, well, he stunk last year.
Tony B.
I'm going Chuba. It might be a mistake, but I'm going Chuba.
Tony B.
Which means I'll probably go wide receiver next. Jordan Addison is a good idea, as you've mentioned. Yeah.
How you take Addison? If Addison's still on the board for some reason, next time you come up, you got to take him.
Who's the QB1 over Minnesota again? I forget.
Sammy D. Yeah, that's tough.
But how long is JJ McCarthy out for?
He's out for the entire season.
That's right. Shit.
Sammy D. But you got to think Justin Jefferson's so good that it's like the field will just open up from Justin Jefferson himself. And then when TJ Hawkinson comes back too, I mean, they got so many weapons. Now they have Aaron Jones in the backfield. It's almost like Sam.
Well, here's the thing, though.
Really has to be bad.
Addison has the same bye week as Tyreek Hill. So I don't know if I want to. I probably. I mean, I could always put.
Yeah, but the thing about him is you got to think of it like this way.
Flex on that week.
Yeah, but Jordan Addison getting him this late, he's somebody that might be starting along with Tyreek Hill, not just like somebody that's drafted as a reserve in case of somebody because he's that good. You know what I mean? So that's how you have to
look at it. I think you might be right. I think that's going to be my pick here. I think I'm going to go Jordan Addison.
Good pick. If he would have got to me, I would have been happy, but that auto pick's on. But
I think you're influencing my picks too much. I don't know how happy I am with that.
I'm just trying to give you some insight. You were in retirement for fantasy football, so I'm just trying to do what I can do for my boy.
You might be trying to sabotage me, or I might just be taking advice from the wrong guy. I don't know.
We'll see. if your team comes out fire, we know where it was birthed from. So
Mm.
Adam
You know
Thielen.
what? I'm currently looking at a wide receiver. I might want to target later on. I think next I want to get a backup tight end. I do see an intriguing wide receiver that I might consider.
I'll take a half a day, I guess.
I'm thinking about a running back here. I'm looking at both Cincinnati running backs that are on the board still. I like Zach Moss. I liked him a lot coming out of college from Utah. It's kind of tough trying to decide which one's going to get more play. I feel like Chase Brown is going to be more the receiving back, but Zach Moss also is a very underrated receiver. So I think Zach Moss might be the more so power down back. It looks like the touches are going to be really evenly split. So I just really want to get a good running back depth here. Hopefully, Chase Brown gets taken here and I can take Zach Moss. Zach Moss gets taken right in front of my eyes.
That's a shame.
It really is a shame. I was almost locked into that.
Right now I'm trying to eye up a possible backup tight end. I kind of like Cole Kmet as a backup tight end if one of the two guys I'm targeting is off the board, which they likely will be.
I'm really stuck here. I gotta check.
What about as like a final pick? What about Grant Calcaterra in case of a Dallas Goedert injury?
I'm actually gonna panic here, and I think I'm gonna take T.J. Hawkinson.
No, don't you fucking dare, dude. That's my guy. Don't take him. Don't do that. Don't take my guy.
There it is.
Fucking bitch.
My bench is now filled with 2 players that will not start the season healthy.
Yeah, but that's good, for bench players. You know what I mean?
That is true, but if I suffer an injury to a starting player early on, then we could be in lots and lots of trouble. So let's review so far. I have Josh Allen, Saquon Barkley, Zamir White, Marvin Harrison Jr., Jalen Waddle, Kyle Pitts, Keon Coleman, Jonathan Brooks, and TJ Hawkinson. And Dante has Kirk Cousins, Derrick Henry, Joe Mixon, Tyreek Hill, Terry McLaurin, Jake Ferguson, Jackson Smith-Njigba, Chuba Hubbard, and Jordan Addison. I'm kind of salty that you got Jordan Addison that late, dude. You might need to trade him over to my squad.
I really like that I have Tyreek Hill. That's my main note of my team. I think I have a couple of risks. Smith-Njigba, Chuba Hubbard, Jordan Addison, Joe Mixon, maybe. I mean, Derrick Henry. I mean, Terry McLaurin. I feel like I've taken a few risks. I don't think Kirk Cochains is a risk. I don't think Tyreek Hill is a risk. I don't think Jake Ferguson is a risk at all. I think Jake Ferguson's going to have a pretty big year.
Yeah. I mean,
I think those are my
Dallas
3 most
historically
solid
uses their
guys.
tight ends, so maybe that's you got to think all these guys drafted in their orders that they got drafted. It's not guaranteed that that's where it's going to finish.
Yeah, and I feel like Dallas is a team that's always like really relied on the tight end position, not to a major extent, but you look at when they had Jason Witten, and then when they had, I'm blanking on his name, but the guy very recently before Jake Ferguson, what was his name again?
Dalton Schultz.
Yeah, Dalton Schultz.
That's
And
who I was
now,
telling you to take on the Texans, but there's also 3 wide receivers that they got to throw the ball to now. So
like Jake Ferguson last year, once he was put into that role, I mean, his first year in a big role, he had 761 yards and 5 touchdowns. So I think that's a solid pick. It's not going to be a tight end that's going to put up crazy numbers, but I think it's a good solid pick. I think he's going to have a bigger year than last year, definitely. I think they're going to have less of a run game to rely on. I think they're going to be throwing the ball more. I think he's going to be a big safety blanket for Dak. I think it's a good pick.
CD would have been a good pick at pick 3 too, but you didn't want to go down that route.
Is the guy I wanted a tight end still available? Who was I even considering? I don't remember.
I think I'm going to take another injury risk guy here, fill out the bench, but I like the talent here. I'm going to go with J.K. Dobbins. Have a bounce back season with the Los Angeles Chargers.
No, okay, so no tight ends have been taken since you took Hawkinson. Who was I eyeing up? I already forget.
Didn't you like Hawkinson?
Yeah, but there was like a really good backup option.
What about Luke Musgrave?
Yes, that's who I was thinking of. Thank you. Yes, I really like that. I really like that idea. I think I'm gonna.
The only thing that sketches me out about him is like him and Tucker Kraft are like ranked like so close together, but I definitely think Luke Musgrave is a better player. He should get a lot of targets.
I could probably wait to take him as well. I don't think I have to take him with my very next pick. I could probably wait until the pick after that. Yeah, I doubt he'll be off the board.
Gotta wait 15 picks.
He is a bye week 10, so that's not bad. The only other week 10 bye week I have is Smith and Jigba. So who
do you normally draft 2 quarterbacks?
Yeah, but I'm gonna wait to take my second QB. How many rounds total? Oh, 16. Yeah, I can wait to take my second QB, definitely. Right now, I'm probably going to want another running back.
I got 4 running backs so far, so I'm looking at 4 running backs. I drafted 2 tight ends, so I'm going to try and load up on wide receiver now. Probably not going to I might take a defense a little bit earlier than I normally do, with like instead of the last 2 picks, maybe a little bit sooner, just based off of how many people are in this league.
Do I take Zach Charbonnet next?
I was thinking about him, but I ended up with trying to go with somebody that had a more clear path to RB1 status in their offense than somebody that just has to rely on Kenneth Walker getting hurt.
Yeah.
But I mean, if Kenneth Walker goes down, then you hit big time on that. So that might be a good investment.
I don't want Gus Edwards. I doubt he'll see many carries.
But how would you feel about having, like, if Zach Charbonnet does step up and Kenneth Walker goes down for some time, do you feel comfortable about having Zach Charbonnet in your lineup and Jackson Smith and Jigba, both from Seattle? That might be something that you have to think about.
I mean, the talent right now is scarce.
That is true. He definitely separates himself. I mean, there's a bunch of rookie running backs that have a lot of talent. It's just about, like, you can take a flyer on Blake Corum. You're a Michigan guy, apparently.
Wait, who'd you say?
Blake Corum. Somebody.
There's so many running backs.
I like Bucky Irving's talent a lot, the Oregon running back that's on Tampa Bay. If Rashad White goes down, then he's somebody that has a path to really being productive.
I'm taking Charbonnet.
Dude, you might break your laptop with how hard you're slamming those buttons over there. You get that excited to pick?
And I'm probably going to go with my backup tight end, Luke Musgrave, next.
Not if I take him first.
You're not ahead of me.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. I'm probably going to take him. Then I'm going to take another wide receiver for my bench. And then probably go backup quarterback. Maybe. Maybe not. Might be too early for that.
What are you looking for right now? Are you looking for somebody that's more so like a floor? Like somebody that, is going to get you a certain amount of points and you'll feel good about it? Or are you going for somebody that has the highest possible ceiling that you can?
Yeah, I'm trying to go for ceiling here. You know what I'm saying?
You're going for ceiling, then you should start looking at the rookies.
That's a good point, but I feel like they're a bit more of a risk. I do want a backup tight end. I do want Musgrave. I feel like he has a good ceiling. Like he's not a rookie, but he's young. He could become a big target over there in Green Bay. He's ahead of the 8 ball in front of Tucker Kraft. But he isn't projected until 206. What pick is this? Yeah, I could probably wait to get him, honestly.
Who, Luke Musgrave?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can definitely wait, bro.
But that's the thing. He's not like, in terms of tight ends, though, he's kind of close to the top here. I don't know how many people are going. I don't know. I think I want to go wide receiver here. But I don't even know who I want to take. Gabe Davis, maybe?
I was thinking more so like I'm looking at rookies right now.
Who's a good rookie? Name me a rookie.
Like Xavier Leggett. He might go off in the Carolina offense. They have a bunch of playmakers now in Carolina when they had none. So maybe they just open up things. They got
Oh God. I'm out of time. Draft. Fuck. I just panic drafted Gabe Davis. I had 4 seconds left. Oh well. I like Gabe Davis. That's
who honestly I was gonna take. I was gonna take Gabe Davis.
Yeah, see, you are trying to sabotage me. Fuck you.
That was the only time I tried to talk you out of it.
Yeah, because Gabe Davis, I mean, he had a pretty good last couple of years.
Damn, my 2 picks just got picked back to back.
In Jacksonville now? Huh. That's what you get. That's what you get for trying to sabotage me. I'm hoping
I was gonna pick Justin Herbert. That was my backup pick. I think I might go quarterback here.
Fuck, I was not paying attention to Gabe Davis's bye week. Week 12. Okay. I only have one other week 12 bye week, and that's at the quarterback position, so I like that. So yeah, my next 2 picks, I'm going backup QB and backup tight end. Probably.
Justin Herbert was the guy that I wanted as my backup quarterback, but now.
Does anyone have backup quarterbacks yet?
Yeah, someone just took Justin Herbert.
Someone
took Jared Goff.
The guy who just took Justin Herbert just selected his 3rd quarterback. He also has Caleb Williams and Pat Mahomes.
What a rat! Why would he take Justin Herbert too?
Why would he take 3 quarterbacks?
I'm gonna take Matt Stafford here.
I think I'm gonna go Kenny Pickett. Maybe Tanner McKee.
Tanner McKee over
maybe
Kenny
Carson Wentz. Maybe I'll go Carson Wentz.
Carson Wentz. Did you see the long snapper? That's last name is like Carson Wentz.
Here's another team that has 3 quarterbacks. Mark's Monster. I can't see his full name right now, but Mark's Monstrous team. He has Rodgers, Tua, and Trevor Lawrence. Why? And he has a backup tight end. Is his flex? His flex is a tight end.
That dude's going to be lacking on running back. He's got 2 running backs drafted into
his flex is a tight end. So he has 3 tight ends and 3 quarterbacks and 3 wide receivers. You should not have the same amount of quarterbacks and tight ends as you do wideouts. And he has more quarterbacks and tight ends than running backs. What is he doing?
I'm trying to go through and see if I can see a crazy team drafted.
Brandon's Jets. What's he got? He's got a backup QB. Yeah, a lot of teams have backup QBs. I guess it's more whatchamacallit, more valued than I thought.
One dude's running Jaden Daniels as his quarterback and Malik Neighbors at wide receiver. Investing heavy in the rookies.
Yeah. I wouldn't trust Jaden Daniels. Ow, my neck.
Maybe as a backup quarterback for his
Just
ceiling. But
legitimately hurt my
I
neck.
wouldn't.
That's
I
good.
wouldn't have him as my only number one option. That's for sure. But hey, in a league like this, there's 14 starting quarterbacks, so I guess that's one of the people that gets anointed to being a starting quarterback when a 14-person league.
I don't hate Will Levis as a backup QB.
He's got a bunch of weapons he can throw to. That's for sure.
Yeah, definitely. It's a high ceiling pick in my opinion.
He's got some weapons.
In his second year coming up, good talent coming out of college. His girlfriend left him. He's going to be playing with a chip on his shoulder.
Who are you talking about?
Will Levis.
Oh. Yeah, well, he eats like mayonnaise. A lot of mayonnaise. So.
Well, he puts mayo in his coffee. I don't know if I trust.
I don't even know if I believe that. Is that a marketing?
It could just be, just
a scam,
a stunt. I find it so funny that Deshaun Watson is not off the board.
I considered him, but then at the end of the day, like just what I've seen the past 2 years of him, it's just I can't, feel good about it. Last game he played last season versus the Ravens, he played really well, but
and and there he goes off the board.
Bam! Someone snaked my defense.
You're saying defense?
I'm thinking about it. I'm trying to get the best possible team I can get going.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to go backup tight end and backup QB. It's already round 12, so I don't have to scrape the bottom of the barrel to get two solid backups.
I'm actually thinking about a kicker right now. Change of plans.
Mm-hmm.
Who do you think I'm eyeing up at kicker?
What? No, don't take a kicker in round 12.
Why wouldn't I?
Why would you? You could get a kicker in the very last round.
Yeah, but I can't get like one of the top kickers in the very last round.
What's the top kicker going to get you? An extra 2 points each week? Get out of here.
You never know.
That's just stupid.
You thinking about Miles Sanders?
No. Booby Miles, as much as I love him, no.
I think it's pretty crazy. Romeo Dobbs is available right now. That's who I'm going to take for wide receiver depth.
I think I'm feeling confident that the two guys I want next, Will Levis and
Damn,
the tight end on the Packers are still going to be available. That's when we do this round. Then the following round, probably go another skill possession. Probably go 2 more skill positions. I might go skill position and defense on my next 2 set of picks after this. I think that's what I'm going to do is go skill position and defense.
I think I'm locked into being a kicker next, honestly. Try and pluck one of these top kickers. Maybe think about defense after that.
Yeah, I'm feeling pretty confident I'm going to be able to land Will Levis here. I think that's a good high ceiling pick. A guy who, if he catches fire, that's even somebody I could plug in, you instead of Kirk Cousins at some point. If Kirk Cousins is kind of, not performing to where I want him to be, and it turns out Will Levis end up being a phenomenal pick, and he's caught fire his second year, I think it'll be a very good pick. I think very often, quarterbacks who had a poor rookie season, but have shown flashes, typically end up having a monster second season. And I think that was
I think Bryce Young could fall in that category. That's why
Bryce Young could also fall in that category. That's the other guy.
I was just considering Xavier Leggett, the rookie wide receiver they drafted.
But and Bryce Young is dual threat, but I don't know. I think Will Levis showed more promise. So I'm gonna go Will Levis.
I think Will Levis just had a lot more to work with off the bat. Plus, he had a lot of pressure taken off him. He can just turn around and hand off the ball to Derrick Henry whenever he wanted to.
That's a good point. I might regret it. Bryce Young might end up having a much better season because he also has a very high ceiling. Number one pick, phenomenal college career, but
Nix is going to have a lot of opportunities off the rip too. He's going to be starting from day one. So, but you locked in, made your pick. You got to ride with it. Will Levis.
I mean, it's a backup quarterback. It's not really that deep at the end of the day.
When's your bye week? Let's look at your bye week for your quarterback is what, 14, 12?
12.
Okay. Will Levis has week 5, so you're good there.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I wouldn't be dumb enough.
I mean, who knows? Like when half these quarterbacks get drafted, you draft a quarterback and then somebody releases a quarterback into the waiver wire and then you have a better backup quarterback like the next day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Justin Herbert wasn't getting drafted in 10-person leagues. I was just picking him up as my backup quarterback.
I'm on the clock. I'm taking Musgrave.
Musgrave time. See, how long did you wait from the last time that we talked about taking him till you just taking him?
I think like when I first started the idea of taking him, I think I waited 3 or 4 picks before actually taking him. I probably could have waited.
You probably could have waited again too.
Yeah, he's projected 207 or Tucker Kraft is projected. I think it was projected 206, like one pick before Tucker Kraft. But I just want to make sure I'm able to get him. And then, I'm going to go defense and skill position next. Maybe Shipley. Maybe Will Shipley. Saquon does not have the best injury history. I wonder where they have him ranked. Who do they have higher, Shipley or Gainwell? That's a good question.
Gainwell's ranked 223.
Where's Shipley?
Will Shipley is ranked 308.
Yeah, I guess. But Gainwell is not an every down back. That's the thing. So I think they're valuing Gainwell higher in terms of who's going to get more touches throughout the season and not who's going to get more touches if Saquon gets injured. I think Gainwell will get more touches while Saquon is healthy, but if Saquon were to get hurt, I think Will Shipley would become the every down back. I mean, but it's always a guy you can pick up on the waiver wire. But then the other thing too is, let's say Saquon gets hurt, everybody's going to rush to the waiver wire to try and get the next of kin.
Yeah, so if you draft him now, you got to be invested into that investment, though.
But that's the thing. I'm talking about a round 15 pick here. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I probably won't actually take him, but it is something to consider, I think.
I'm really trying to figure out what
I'm going to take Jamal Williams at running back isn't a bad idea. I mean,
he went from having 17 touchdowns to 1 year to 1 touchdown the next year
to 2. Yeah, but I mean, who knows? Maybe he resurges. And like I said, it's a round 15 pick. It's very, very low risk.
That's
If I
collegiate.
do go Will Shipley, then I would probably go kicker around 15 because obviously no one else would be taking Will Shipley. Because who the fuck would other than me? Because I'm a dumbass.
Yeah, and I don't think anybody. He's definitely not on my playing cards, and I have Saquon Barkley.
Yeah, that's a good point. For you, it would make no sense to take Shipley.
Well, I mean, I have it would in case like Saquon gets hurt, and then that's my insurance policy. But I feel like it might be a wasted roster spot if everything goes as planned.
True.
It's a long draft. Been drafting for what? An hour now? I guess it's on par.
You know what's funny? I completely forgot that the Cowboys picked up Dalvin Cook recently.
Yeah, you about to scoop him?
He's ranked 712. What a
He's on the
fall
practice
off,
squad
dude.
right now. He's not on the active roster just yet.
That's crazy, dude. What a fall off. I remember
who's ranked 2 spots after him?
who?
Rashad Penny. Your
Oh,
boy
wow.
top 5 running back to
That's another
retirement.
fall off. But yeah, I remember when the Cowboys signed Dalvin Cook. My brother, the one that's a Cowboys fan, sent it into the group chat like it was a big pickup.
Yeah, maybe in 2019.
What about Tank Bigsby? What about that guy? What's he been up to?
That's somebody that you want some shares in the Jacksonville offense?
Probably not.
Braylon
I think
Allen's an
it's
interesting
just
one
for the
too.
memes. I might take Will Shipley with my last pick, just for the memes. Honestly,
Just for the
it's the
memes.
last pick. Who gives a shit?
What
I'm
if
gonna
he ends
take
up being Christian
defense next.
McCaffrey and it's the greatest draft pick in fantasy football history?
What's up?
What if he ends up being Christian McCaffrey and it ends up being the greatest
Yeah.
draft pick in fantasy football history?
Yeah, who knows, man?
We'll
I'm
look at
going
that.
defense next. That's why I got to start considering what defense do I want. The Eagles' defense is still available and not ranked very high. I don't see it being a stout defense, but it could be a defense. I don't see it being a big turnover defense. But Seahawks defense is always intriguing, no matter what their team is looking like at the time.
Jake Elliott has been drafted by my team.
That's a good pick. That's a good pick. I for
Well,
round 14.
that's the kicker that I was eyeing up the whole time.
Yeah, for round 14, I don't hate that pick. I don't hate it. I kind of like Lions defense. Maybe Aiden Hutchinson can rack up a ton of sacks.
Lions
Who else do they
defense.
have on
That's
that
a little
defense?
shaky. They just got Terrion
Who else do
Arnold
they
in the
have on that
draft.
defense? What's that?
Terrion Arnold, Aleem McNeil. That Spanish linebacker, Rodriguez.
Who do they have in the secondary? They have Carlton Davis, Brian Branch.
Brian Branch is fire. That's who I wanted.
They
The
have
Eagles
Marcus
to draft.
Davenport also on the D line.
How would you have felt if the Eagles drafted Brian Branch instead of drafting Nolan Smith at pick 30?
I mean, hey. But then the other thing too is like the Eagles defense, like we've talked about, I think it's really boom or bust. You know what I mean? Like those those pass rushers could end up like all having big seasons. You know, Quinion Mitchell could have a monster rookie year.
It's not that. It's they have a bunch of talent. It's just about like the unknowns of they haven't played a lot of football together, and it's like a team that's really young, and it's like transitioning from one era of football into another, and it's like there's kind of just a lot of different pieces that, when you lose two of your best players in the offseason, it's always tough.
Yeah. I didn't realize Ronald Darby is currently a starting corner for the Jaguars. That is almost a throwback at this point. Other Maroon Lions defense.
Ronald Darby's honestly had a really good NFL career, and he's stayed around for a long time in one of the positions that it's easy to become washed up at.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I think that's going to be my next pick, as long as Adams
Ronald Darby?
No, what? No, Lions defense.
Lions defense, you're locked into that?
Yeah, I think that's good defense considering what's currently available. Yeah.
I'm kind of thinking about the Bears defense.
The only thing I don't like is usually what I like to do when I have to bench my defense, I like to pick up a new defense, drop the current one, and then just rock with that defense the rest of the year. And this is a week 5 bye week, so I would be swapping defenses very
well. That's how I
early.
honestly just felt like that about Jake Elliott when I drafted him with the week 5 bye, because I knew I'm going to have to do that with my kicker very early in the season. But I just felt like with the Eagles' offense and how much they're going to score and just how good of a kicker that he is, that it was too good to pass up on. I was thinking about Evan McPherson, the Bengals kicker, because he had a week 12 bye, but I ended up going with Jake Elliott.
Yeah, I went with Lions defense. I think I'm going to keep that strategy in mind for taking my kicker, is go with somebody who has a late bye week, not a week 14 bye week, because I have too many of that. Young-Ho Koo, that's a good one, dude. That's a high-powered offense. That's a good kicker. I like Young. Did I say Young-Ho? It's Young Wei, isn't it? I'm pretty sure it's pronounced Young Wei, but I like Young Wei too.
It's Young-Ho Koo.
No, I think it's pronounced Young Wei. I could be wrong. I like that swap kickers all the way in week 12. Pretty late in the year. Rock with a pretty damn good kicker throughout the year. Somebody who's, I think, going to get a lot of opportunities in a big offense. Yeah, I'm absolutely going with Koo here. I actually went with Koo 2 years ago when I was in your fantasy league.
That was your kicker? Did you end up dropping him, or did you keep him when he was on a bye?
Don't remember. It was 2 years ago. What do I know?
You better start studying.
Didn't the Cowboys sign Deontay Foreman at one point in the offseason, or am I tripping completely?
What happened?
Didn't the Cowboys pick up Deontay Foreman at one point in the offseason, or am I tripping?
No.
I could have sworn they had.
He's bounced around a little bit. Remember when he was on the Texans as a rookie?
Deontay Foreman. Yeah.
Rashad Bateman this late in the draft's honestly interesting. Yeah.
I need to find a running back that's going to talk me out of drafting Will Shipley. Well, think about it like this, okay? If I take Will Shipley, then at least I'm in a position where if Saquon Barkley gets hurt, normally I'd be very, very super bummed, right? But now, if I have Will Shipley on my fantasy team and Saquon gets hurt, I can be like, that really sucks, but hey, at least that's good news for my fantasy team.
Are you actually considering him?
I am actually considering him, yes.
I mean, let's see how far down the rankings he would be.
Very far. But that's because they're considering how many touches he would get, barring injuries. I'm considering what if Saquon gets hurt. That's what I'm considering here. Kyle Juszczyk is ranked higher than him. A fullback is ranked higher than Will Shipley.
Who you gonna pick, dude? That's a tough selection.
I might do it. I mean, it's the final round. Who cares?
I need another running back. I'm looking at who I can get here.
What about Braylon Allen?
That's who I was honestly gonna pick. You might be beat, son. I like his talent. He got drafted high. That's why I'm like, if Breece Hall ends up being a bust or something happens to him and he gets hurt, it's his job.
Yeah, I do like Braylon Allen, actually. That is somebody I would take over Will Shipley. What about Amir Abdullah?
He's been in the league for so long.
Oh my God, 2015. I didn't even realize that. Jeez.
It's felt like it's been forever.
Yeah.
He was a first-round pick, wasn't he?
I don't remember.
I'm really do not know who I'm going to go here. I'm going to take Braylon Hall. I'm going to go with the talent once again. The same way I drafted my entire board. Projected talent. All right, so I ended up with 2 quarterbacks, 5 running backs, 5 wide receivers, 2 tight ends, a kicker, and a defense.
You fucking piece of shit. You just had to take Braylon Allen.
Who are you going to pick, dude? I think I did it just to more so justify your pick of Will Shipley, for being honest.
No, because I finally found a different running back I convinced myself I would be happy taking. And then you took him from me. I shouldn't have said anything.
I was already going to take him, honestly.
I cannot think of a single other running back.
Dude, take Will Shipley. I think it'd be classic, and there's a chance that your scenario plays out. I mean, it's the last round, like you said. Or how many you got 5? Who'd you take? How many wide receivers and running backs do you have?
Wait 1 second. So I have not checked the Phillies score in a while.
Might be a good thing, dude. Four to 8. Bases loaded with Edmundo Sosa up the bat.
Oh. Well, that's...
The Phillies have 12 hits and the Blue Jays have 14.
Oh, hold on. I am going to silently pull that up on YouTube TV. I gotta see how this
plays silent now. Your pick's also coming up too. Don't miss it.
Watch this guy fucking take Will Shipley.
That'd be hilarious. Gardner Minshew just went, dude. That's one of your picks taken.
I was never considering Gardner Minshew.
Minshew Mania. Fly away.
My auto pick would be Daniel Jones. That's so funny that Daniel Jones is still available.
Danny Dimes.
All right, well, Shipley it is. Let's go. Welcome to the
Wow,
team.
he actually did it. For the memes.
I could honestly, I didn't like any of the running backs that were still available. I did
Dude,
not
hey,
like
I mean, you're getting to slim pickings at that. So what? You were 2
taking a
picks
chance
away,
on
so
someone.
16.
So my final roster,
16.
starting lineup: Kirk Cousins, Derrick Henry, Joe Mixon, Tyreek Hill, Terry McLaurin, Jake Ferguson, Smith Najigba, Lions defense, Younghoe Koo, Chuba Hubbard. Oh, wait, no. And now we go to the bench. Chuba Hubbard, Jordan Addison, Zach Charbonnet, Gabe Davis, Will Levis, Luke Musgrave, and Will Shipley.
Not too shabby. How would you rate your draft 1 out of 10?
7, 8.
7, 8?
I'll go
I'll give
7,
myself
8.
I would give myself like an 8.5, 9 out of a 14-person league. So I ended up with Josh Allen, Saquon Barkley, Zamir White, Marvin Harrison Jr., Jalen Waddle,
Sosa walks. Sorry, didn't mean to cut you
Keon
off.
Coleman, Jaguars defense, Jake Elliott, Jonathan Brooks, TJ Hawkinson, J.K. Dobbins, Matt Stafford, Romeo Dobbs, Xavier Leggett, and Braylon Allen. So that'll wrap it up for the fantasy football draft. Dante gives his draft a 7, 8. I'm going to go with an 8.5, 9 for mine. 14 person league. Dante ended up with pick 3. I ended up with pick 9.
You have a lot of week 12 bye weeks. I'm just noticing that.
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, my defense.
Your defense, your tight end, your flex, and your QB all week 12.
Yeah, well, my flex and my QB are on the same team.
Yeah.
So,
So anyway, Phillies just walked in Edmundo Sosa just walked in a run. So it's now 8-5. Bases still loaded, stole one out. And up to the plate, is that Cody Clemens?
Cody Clemens.
Yeah, Cody Clemens is at the plate. Bases loaded, one out, 8-5, top of the 7th inning. Come on, Cody. Hit a grand slam to take the lead. That would be hysterical.
Cody Clemens pinch hit. I feel like I haven't seen Cody Clemens out there in quite some time.
He played the other day.
Who was he activated when Alvarado went down?
I think so, maybe. He was activated very recently.
Yeah, it had to be.
Let's see what he does here. 0-1 count. 0-2 count. All right, I'm just gonna see how this AB plays out, and then we're gonna end the stream here, or end the live, or end the podcast. It's getting late. My brain isn't functioning properly. But
Too much fantasy football. That fantasy football took you out of retirement. Has your brain swirled up?
We're almost an hour 40 minutes into this. So as soon as Cody Clemens wraps up this AB, because I'm very curious.
Is this the longest podcast? Oh, I'm knocking stuff over. Right?
This has to be our longest podcast. Absolutely. There's no way it's not. I didn't think the draft. Well, we did start the podcast like 15 minutes.
We started the podcast at 7:47 exactly. There was also 14 picks per round in this draft, and a lot of people were taking the full time. So,
yeah, that's true. It is a 14-team league, so it definitely took a lot longer than like an 18 league, which I've been a part of in the past.
I'm usually a 10 person kind of.
It's not going to be. There's not going to be a lot of very high scoring games in this.
Yeah, the scoring's definitely going to be down just because the depth is going to be lacking. But there's also going to be there's probably going to be a couple teams that separate themselves like significantly from the rest of the crowd just based off of like luck in the draft, and like they're significantly better than other teams. Usually, other leagues you can find a lot more parity.
Still 1 and 2. Yeah, because if Clemens can like get a big hit here, I want to be able to catch this live on the podcast. I think that would be great.
Yeah, might be one of the only times that we ever talk about Cody Clemens, but we'll give him his 15 minutes of fame.
Fouled it off again. He's You know why? He's having quite the AB. He's fouling off a lot of pitches here against Swanson. 6 pitches this at bat.
We like to run the
foul
numbers
balls.
up and everything, but at the end of the day, like if you foul all these pitches up and you just don't end up doing anything, like it doesn't really matter.
I would take a strikeout over a double play right here. I'll say that. 2-2, man. Cody with quite the AB here. Can we see our schedule for can we see is that available yet?
Also, Ben, you can make memories.
There's the pitch. Cody fouls it off again. Cody Clemens. This is one hell of an AB at this point. Wow. If he finishes off this AB with a walk or a hit, that is huge. Yeah, let me see league schedule. When are we face to face? Week 1. Wait, no. Am I reading that wrong? Is that out of play? That is out of play. That's another foul ball. I'm so confused looking at the schedule. Okay, I'm playing Adam's outstanding team. I want to look at just my team schedule. Oh, okay, I can't do that. Yeah, week 1. Oh, okay, we face off week 3.
Week 3? That's early on in the season. I'm really going to do some
Clemens
bad
with another foul ball. Oh, my God, how many pitches? That's 10 pitches this at bat, 6 foul balls, the 11th pitch is coming up. Holy shit. I didn't want this to drag out this long. I just wanted to watch one more AB real quick. But he's really dragging it out. Oh! Okay, he got a run in. He had a slow ground ball to third base. The third baseman was able to field it and tag the base just in time to get the runner going to third, which was Brandon Marsh. But a run does score, and it's now 8-6. So Cody
I'm
has
so far behind you for some reason.
Cody has brought them back to within striking range. What a phenomenal AB. I mean, like to make him throw 11 pitches and at least pay it off with a run scored is huge. And now they're going to make a pitching change. So that's going to do it for tonight's podcast. Thank you for joining this special fantasy football draft edition.
We'll be giving you guys updates throughout the season. Like we said, it's the Elevation 5280 Sports League, so we'll have some bragging rights. Maybe we can bring on some other competitors in the league and maybe talk about some fantasy football. Maybe bring on who's the number 1 team later on in the season, but we won't have to bring anybody on because he's already the host of the podcast. And that would be me, if you didn't understand what I was getting at. But
I got where you were getting at.
All right, cool. I was just making sure. But yeah, we'll be back for another podcast, episode 63 of the Paisan Sports podcast next week. Thank you guys for tuning in.